You might see a decline, but come playoff time, picks it right up, and they're winning a championship. He will thrive under you questioning him, trust me. The thing is, people want to be invited to the party. The Pats got hate for 20 years for dominating. People would blame the refs, and yes, they did cheat once, but what about the other 5 Super Bowls they won? Alright, they dominated the league for 20 years and got a lot of hate. You know why? It's because of fatigue. They are fatigued. They don't want this happening every single year. It's not interesting. So, we'll see what happens. Eventually, the Alabama should be done soon. I don't know. I mean, there have been other. I mean, I feel like it's been the same people every year, winning. You know, the Cowboys won. I mean, Ohio State won 2015, 2016. 2016 went to Bama. 2017 went to Clemson. 2018 went to Alabama. 2019 2019 where is it? I wrote it down somewhere. 2019 went to Clemson. 2020 went to LSU. That was a new one. And this year went to Alabama. So it seems like Ohio State is annually successful. Clemson, Bama. I hope another contender will emerge, and hopefully they. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to be ranking the remaining teams here. Alright. So, at number 8, I have. Number 8 is the Rams. They have the best defense in the NFL. 7 straight games with multiple sacks, but they have the weakest at QB. They are the weakest at QB. Goff has thumb surgery, and and he's probably the worst quarterback in the playoffs going into it. But Akers is great, and I think he can make it. I think Akers running can make it competitive against Green Bay. But it's going to be tough. Number 7 is the Browns. They're the least experienced team, but they're getting smarter. When they win the turnover battle, they're 11-0. And in the last 5 games, the Browns, Baker has had 14 touchdowns and only 1 pick. They look great, but they're not experienced enough. Number 6 is the Bucs. They have 1 win against a winning team. Brady's experience is the reason they're even at number 6 right now. Based on talent, Rams and Browns are better than the Bucs. But the Bucs would be in the worst position right now. Brady, the GOAT, is always a positive. But they have gotten trampled by the Saints twice now. But then again, they're playing them for a 3rd time. You watch the Steelers and Browns. Steelers blew them out the first time. Then the Steelers almost beat them with backups. And then they just got blown out by them. No one expected that. Bucs are 6 right now, just because of Brady's amazingness. So number 5 is the Baltimore Ravens. They outrushed Derrick Henry and held him to a season low in rushing yards. That's pretty incredible. It's tough to do. They can own time of possession. They have a Super Bowl winning coach and a dynamic quarterback. Reason I have them at 5 is because of lack of playoff experience. But they have a lot of traits of a Super Bowl winning team. So, I wouldn't be shocked if they sneak their way into the AFC Championship and beat the Bills, possibly. But I'm not going to do anything crazy yet. This is probably the last. By the way, this is probably the last week I'm going to rank these teams, because next week there's just 4, and we probably know the 2 that are the best. At that point, it's going to be kind of boring. So number 4 is the Saints. They held the ball over 40 minutes and have held opponents under 10 points the last 2 weeks. However, it was only the Bears that they beat. I think they beat the Bucks, but it's going to be tough to beat the Packers or Rams, especially because the offense isn't at its best right now. It's not at full strength. And I don't think Breeze is playing too well, but a lot of people are saying, Bills Saints Super Bowl. So, and I kind of agree with that, but I don't know. I need to see the Saints get a real test, like not just with Bears. I gotta see them get a real test against the Bucks. Brady is kind of a real test. I'll kind of get a glimpse of what they are. Maybe I'll know how to rank them by that point. Number 3 is actually the Bills. I ranked them number 1 last week. I finally broke down and put the Chiefs at 2. But, bearing playoff experience, the Chiefs were just there. It's fresh in their mind. So, Bills are 3. I am a little concerned about the offensive line. But, they're explosive offensively. They're very well coached. And they are the hottest team in the NFL. So, that's definitely something to look at. Number 2 is the Chiefs. They're the worst red zone defense. They're 24th in the red zone since week 12 offensively. And I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. I don't know why their offense is regressing. Mahomes has under a 60% completion percentage in the past week. Right now, they're a question mark. They're a question mark like Seattle was. And I don't like it. We saw that worked out for Seattle. Not too well. Now, I didn't want to put them at number 1, but because I feel like people are going to start calling me biased because I'm a Packers fan, but right now, I think the Packers are in the best position. They're the number 1 offense. They never turn the ball over, and their defense is emerging at the exact right time. The only problem would be if there's just like this last second injury. Their defense has done well. Statistically in the past couple of weeks. The last 3 weeks they've held offenses under 20 points. The problem is 2 of those offenses were the Panthers and Bears. And they're not very good offensively. Holding the Titans to 14 points I thought was pretty impressive, though. Because that's all the Titans have. And we shut down Derrick Henry, kind of. So, I think my Packers are currently number 1. It'll probably switch up after this week, but right now I'm just going to have my moment in the spotlight. Alright. So, Claypool trashes the Browns, saying they're going to get clapped by KC anyway. The Steelers this year have really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like the TikTok stars, and they're getting loud. They have become an underachieving loud franchise right now. That's what they've become. They went from being one of the most successful ones to being loud and underachieving. And so far, every player who they thought was the problem has been fine without them. Bell is fine with the Chiefs. Brown, it took him a while, but he's doing fine with the Bucks. So the problem is definitely someone on that team, and problem is they're playing this loyalty game, and I think it's great. I think it's great that they're loyal. They're not being jerks about everything. But they gotta back off that loyal train and just they gotta really seek out who the problem is in this organization. And I don't know. They gotta figure it out. And I'm sure they will. They're the Steelers. They always do. Alright, so back to breaking news. Alright, here we go. Alright. So, Tua was third in jerseys selling. Number 2 is Brady. 1 was Mahomes, obviously. The fact that Brady is still up there is pretty incredible. And I mean, I know it's his, he has a new jersey. I mean, people probably got tired of buying his old one, the Patriots, for like 19 years. So, I mean, it's still amazing that people still want to buy his jersey. That's how great he's been. Alright. And Tua is from a high-profile college and was talked about a lot, so it isn't a shock. And the thing is, you only say, like, Tua. Like, you say Tua, they know who you're talking about. If you say Joe or Patrick, they're like, who? Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. That's what we're talking about. You say Tua and think, oh, Tagovailoa. That's just how it is with him. So, I mean, Tua is a very distinct name. I think it's only his lack of potential that worries people. I'm not too worried. The good thing is the draft is only a few months away, so a lot of these questions will be answered pretty quickly. Alright, so Mahomes praised Bieniemy by saying if no one goes after him, they're crazy. He already has 5 people interviewing him. There's nothing wrong with being... The thing is with Bieniemy, there's nothing wrong with being a good number 2. Obviously, you would love to take a jump from that to a head coach, but... and the thing is, even if he fails as a head coach, he'll get hired again as a coordinator. Because they saw how good he was here. And honestly, I think if Meyer doesn't get the Jags job, which I think he should, Bieniemy can be like, I know what it's like to have a star QB out of college, and honestly, we can wait and keep Minshew. You know, they waited for Mahomes. He learned under Smith. Came out his first year. Boom. You know, he knows what it's like to have... I mean, obviously Mahomes wasn't this... easy number 1 pick, but it's... He knows what he's doing. I think he's second in line for the Jags job. Alright. So Fields said he is still dealing with injury, but not using it as an excuse for the loss. And I don't take anything away from him. I think he's the number 2 pick. I don't think the Jets should pick him. I think they should trade down, but anyone who they trade down with half a brain would pick him. It's not like he had an easy schedule. He played against top teams like Clemson and dominated. And Alabama is just too good. You can't beat them. So, Fields isn't to blame here. I'm not taking anything away from him. This was expected. No one thought he was going to do anything. He just wasn't the better team. They were just simply the better one. That's not his fault at all. Alright. So, moving on to more news, actually. Alright. So Texans are gonna interview Eric Bieniemy. So that's